Okay, here we are at our trailhead. We're going to, it's pretty late. We didn't get here till about 5. Charles Deam Wilderness. We came in down here off of 446 to Tower Ridge Road. We came up here. And now we were at this trailhead. This is all just a gravel road. We drive there. We're up at this trailhead. We're gonna hike up this way and then dip out somewhere up there to camp. So here we go. Got the bag there, got my haversack there, backpack. Let's see, we're taking the Axum Branch Trail right now, where that tees off. That was a steep hill. Okay, so we broke off. We came around up here on the Axum Branch Trail. We came probably about here somewhere, and we just cut off north. Up this way, we went up a real big hill. You can't really, it's hard to see the contour lines through the camera, but very steep hill up here, and we're gonna camp up here. And I think this is a spot. There's ridge line between these two trees. So, facing down the hill, just over the crest of the hill. So, you know, cut off of any wind draft blowing in directly under the tent, but I'm not really worried about that. Everything's still pretty green out here. Cat's pretty tired. Okay, we're going to rest here, drink some water, undo the pack, or the loose pack, and drink some water, and then we're gonna clear all these sticks out of here. I think Kat is going to get the bedding ready, right? Yeah. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna get 3 big logs and square off. Well, I'll probably get the tarp set up first, get our tent set up first, but we're just gonna square off where we're gonna bed down, fill it with a bunch of leaves, like really packed down. And then on top of that, we're going to put, I got just a regular tarp, a little 4x6 tarp that we're gonna sleep on top of. And then she's got a sleeping bag. And then in my bedroll is a sleeping bag with a wool blanket wrapped around it. So it's gonna get down to 30 degrees tonight. I think we should be fine. Before I tear this apart, I want to go over my bedroll here. So like I said, I have a sleeping bag with a wool blanket wrapped around it. I'll show you how I did that because it's entirely cased by the wool blanket. Since wool is, you know, if we get caught in some rain and I don't feel like busting out a tarp and wrap everything, the wool kind of keeps it dry. I ran the sisal rope as I rolled it up, so that was my carry strap for it. And then good place to stick the hatchet in there, also tightens everything down. I use these belts. These are just belts I get from Goodwill, 99 cents, and they make the best rigging straps that you can buy, I'm telling you. And then you can take them apart. You want to haul firewood to the camp, you can use them for that. But what I do is I get it really tight, put your knee on it and get it really tight, and then take this and butt these together and tie them together so it keeps everything tight. It doesn't loosen up on you. And then, like I said, you got to good that. Honestly, you could carry it like this. It makes a handle. It was a couple miles that we came out here and it wasn't bad, you know. What is it? A feather. Nice. But, you know, for a 12 mile, yeah, you're going to have some problems. But for getting out to the campsite in the woods, you know, just throwing this over your shoulder worked out fine. And then we got the haversack, my pack, lantern attached. So we got to get clearing here and setting up our tent, though. Alrighty, we've got here's our bedding situation. First of all, let's take a look at camp. Cat has been hard working, getting firewood together. Got a little fence, makeshift fence built up here. Got the tent, very cool. And then in here, we got some logs laid out. You can't really see them. There's one here, going across there, filled with a bunch of leaves and browse. And then over the top of that, we're gonna throw this tarp as a moisture barrier. Okay. Obviously we'll straighten it out a little bit, but then there we go. Sleep on that. We got 2 sleeping bags we're gonna put together and the wool blanket. It's only gonna be like 30 tonight, so I'm not worried about it at all, but I think we're gonna start getting dug in here. Okay, last video for tonight. I got the fire going. Camp is set up. Kind of hard to see. We're gonna bust out our MREs, chili mac, and vegetable crumbles with pasta and taco style sauce. Got some coffee going, warming up by the fire. Got a nice little fire pit built here with some rocks that Cat found. So, got my favorite coffee mug. So we're gonna pretty much eat and then call it a night, chill out, go to bed, and I think probably get some good sleep. So, see you in the morning. Well, we're awake. We made it through the night.
No bears.
No bears. Definitely woke up quite a few times, but decently enough. We need to get a double sleeping bag when it's the both of us here, because we just had 2 sleeping bags and the wool blanket, which was enough. It's just through the night it got kind of shifted around. So we're getting our fire going. Warm up, get some coffee, and then we gotta go find water, and we're gonna do some hiking and go visit some sites. So here we go.
Thank God.
Well, double coffees this morning. Just pulled the last of our water off the fire. Should have exactly enough for a cup. Oh, plus a little bit. Cool. So yeah, that's our first goal today, is we got to get some water. So I've actually figured out where we are. So I thought we were a little further up the trail, but I believe that we were actually, I thought that we had come like up here and then backtracked and shot north that way. But I actually think that we were here and then shot north this way. So this isn't that long of a trail. I believe that we were at this, you can see it. I believe we were right here, because when I walked down this way, I don't know, the terrain kind of seems like that's where we are, but we're going to see. Basically, we're just going to hit the trail. We're going to come back down to the trail. We're going to go up the trail to here. We're going to see it flattens out and you can get out to the lake. And we're going to get some water. So that is our goal for the morning because we have 3 empty water bottles. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to head south. We'll figure out a waypoint to get back to our campsite. Boom. And then shoot north about whatever it is, 300 and probably 30 degrees to the lake. Get some water, maybe boil some water there so we can have some drinking water and then fill it back up and then go from there. So here we go. Don't. You know what she was just doing. Cat found some geodes.
What?
This is also going to serve as our waypoint.
Look at that.
This is going to serve as our waypoint for how to get to the campsite. So we just cut north from here. We're coming up on the lake, as you can see. If you were here, you could smell. We broke off the trail up here. I'll show you. We broke off the trail right where that axe and branch trail turns south, turns southeast. We broke off, head up towards the lake, and now we just kind of followed the creek bed. Just kind of easy. It winds around a little more, but it'll take you up there. And now we're coming up on it. Get us some water. Probably build up a little fire. Build up a little fire and just boil all our water here. Because I got food with us, so we can hit the rest of these trails. There's a fire lookout tower we're gonna check out. Hit all that the rest of the day, but we gotta get water. So we got 3 empty canteens of water. So fill that up, boil it, and we'll be good. Here we are. We've found the water. Oh, this is gonna be a cool view.
Let's go.
Okay, so we were over there. We walked. It gets real muddy. I didn't want to get, all just covered in mud. So we walked down here along this bank. So, which we got a nice little seat. So we're gonna get us some water. Build us a little fire right here to boil our water. Probably drink some coffee. Come up with our plan for the day. Eat some food, probably. What do you think, Kat? This is my little fire roll that I made here. I just kind of keep it in there. If I ever want to make shavings or something, I can do it on there. It's waxed. It's a waxed canvas thing. But got one of these fire start things. I got some candles. Got a ferro rod. Piece of sisal. Some Vaseline soaked cotton balls, which I think today is what we're gonna go with because I like to use them. So put that guy on there. This ferro rod kind of sucks. might be. There's not much left on it. All right, well, railroad's trash. Just use a lighter. You know? Those Vaseline-soaked cotton balls are probably my favorite thing as far as homemade. And just in general, they're awesome. Cotton balls are cheap. They're cheap to make. They're super reliable. When you have a ferro rod that is actually working, they light right up with a ferro rod. So, but yeah, we're gonna get this fire going, get our water boiled, just chill out here and enjoy the scenery. I mean, don't ever let anyone tell you Indiana doesn't have some nice scenery. I mean, look at this. This is awesome. It's like something you'd see in a magazine. So, anyways. Three bottles of water. And of course, that is why you get metal canteens. Single wall metal canteens. You just boil it straight in the canteen. All right, so we got one boiled. I just stuck it in the lake there to cool down. Second one's boiling. This one's about to start any second. 1 minute is actually what they say, but you know, let it go for 2 minutes and you're definitely gonna be good. Well, we have our plan for the day. Actually, I'll show you. So we are here, right at this peninsula. Well, not peninsula, the opposite of a peninsula. We're right here. So we're gonna cut back down to the Axe and Branch Trail. We're gonna continue around and then go down to this fire tower because we want to check that out. And then we're gonna come down around here, down around this loop, pick up the Martin Hollow Trail, come up here. Depending on how much time we have left in the day, we're either, if we need to cut back to camp, we're gonna go up here, and our campsite is right up here. We've got a marker where we just cut basically directly north. It's actually about 340, but there's a washout that takes us right up to our campsite. If we have time, we might do this whole loop, but I don't think we're gonna have time for that. So we'll just see. But yeah, we're gonna cut down here, go around, go up in the fire tower, boom, 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 Martin Hollow Trail, right down there, and then probably just cut back up to the campsite right there. So we both shared we had a cup of coffee, we shared a cup of coffee, had and then finished the rest of this canteen of water. So filled that back up. I'm gonna boil that, and then we'll have all three of our canteens full. And we were just talking about this. I think we learned, first of all, I think 2 32-ounce canteens at least is what would be mandatory. Now, I mean, most places that we have been going out, we've been near water, so I think I've gotten, what's the word, a little complacent when it comes to water storage. But, yeah, I would say minimum 2 32-ounce. And, I mean, I was just thinking about it today. If we each had 3 32-ounce stainless containers, David Canterbury sells them over at his store, the Pathfinder store, and they're really nice, the big wide mouth ones. But if we each had 3 of those, I mean, we'd have enough water for a little while, because these little canteens I got, which are fine, honestly, I might still even carry a 4th one, just because it's small, fits in my haversack, and it's nice to just have a small one. Plus, I got them for $1 from Goodwill. All these canteens I've got from Goodwill. So you just keep your eye out, and you can find them. Just make sure they're single wall canteens, not the double wall, vacuum sealed things. Just a single wall stainless canteen, and that's the only thing to have, truthfully. if you're gonna go out and do this kind of stuff. So we're gonna get this water boiling and hit the trail here in a second. Also, I was just thinking about this on fire storage. On fire storage, I mean, we got perfect weather right now. It's like a high of 60 today. The sun is out and it hasn't rained in a while. So everything's dry. You know, it's easy for me to go grab a bunch of firewood and just, I mean, it's easy to build a fire and all that. Now, if we're out here in a situation where we have damp wood and it's raining and maybe it's a little harder just to hike on down to the lake and hang out here with no cover, you know, on the side of the lake and just have a good old time boiling water, drinking water, smoking and joking, you know, that would be another factor. So that's again why I think it would be nice to have more water, because if we had more water and let's say we woke up and it was raining and storming today, well, we wouldn't have to go down and get water first thing. So that was our first thing this morning. We had a coffee cup full of water. I was like, well, before we do anything, we got to get water, you know. So here we are now, and you know, that's just another thing to consider, because you can really get in a tight spot if you're out of water and it's storming, and then all of a sudden you got to go hike to the, you know, lake. So, you know. Oh, and Kat has been carving rocks, and she made me this heart rock. Look what we found here. Let's see what this is. We've kind of got ourselves on an unmarked trail, so we're navigating right now. But we found this very cool 20th century two-story rock building, perhaps used as a hunting lodge. Erected after 1990. Nice. Very cool. So, check this place out. This is cool as hell. Wow. That's something. Cool. We made it to the tower. Look at that, 110 feet tall. I think Kat is gonna sit it out on going up, but I'm going up. You're gonna go up? You have to go up.
I don't want to do this. Okay. I'm paying.
We're almost there.
Okay, let's just let these.
I'm going to show you guys how I do my bed roll here. So, got the sleeping bag laid inside of the wool blanket. Just fold that over. There's a couple different ways I've experimented with this. I believe I like this way the best. But you roll that just like that. Then this is what I've used for my carry strap. So I'm going to put that up here at the front. And then roll that up nice and tight. There's no, I mean, you got to get it as tight as you possibly can. That's pretty dang tight there. Now, I take these belts, these 99-cent belts that I get from Goodwill. one under there. Okay. Setting it up. The other one. Okay. A longer one. Got that one there. Tighten that up. Okay, now this, once you get these on, just go back and forth, crank them down, put your knee on it, crank it down, take these tails, just squaring on them, so right over the left, left over right. Alright, back it up with another inch, whatever. And then there we go. That's how you do it. Now, you have this here for your carry strap, which you can tie a taut line hitch on. Okay. Dress that knot up. Get that nice and dressed up. Okay, get our taut line finished, and then you can, you know, adjust your strap there. So there we go. There it is. And there you go. You just throw it over your shoulder and pack it out. Well, we're coming up on the car. The trail to the campsite, that Tecumseh Trail, starts on a downhill, which means coming out, we got quite the uphill to go up. So that was a little rough, especially all the hiking we did today. Yeah. Just look at Kat's. Look at that sleeping bag just thrown in there. We got the bedroll. We got the haversack. We got the backpack. Nice and tightly packed, like it's supposed to go. Whole camp packed up into here. So love this bag. I like this setup I got here. I'd like to get a more comfortable strap for the bedroll. This rope's not the best. Maybe if I get a piece of webbing, like those straps that I use for the tie downs, those like webbing belts, if I get something like that, that'd be cool. But there's the cars. We're back. Okay, after action report time, we got a nice little fire going there in the wood stove. Look at that. Oh yeah. And we got our lamp fired up here. We got our map, so let's go over it. So we came down 446, drove down southeast of Bloomington, come down 446 here, boom, boom. And then we turned in at the road's down here. So this is where the road is. Where the entrance is, I mean. There's a little info shack thing there. The horse camp there where, you know, you can bring your horse trailer if you're up there. And so you drive around. Here's the road. Goes this way. Da, 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 da. Here's another trailhead right here. And that is where, and these trailheads are really easy to find. They're very easy to find. They're parking spaces because you can't park along the road. There's these designated spaces. All you do is drive in here and park, though. You don't have to call in. You don't have to pay a fee. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You just drive in here and park at one of these parking spaces. And then you can go out on the trail and you can basically camp wherever you want. You can't camp within 300 feet of a trailhead. And you can't camp within 100 feet of a water source. Okay, so that's not really that restrictive. Who's going to camp 300 feet from a trailhead? You know what I mean? And 100 feet from a water source is kind of good practice anyways. I don't think you want to camp right up on the water, especially in warm weather where you're going to have to deal with bugs and stuff. And 100 feet is nothing. So, but anyways, so we parked here at this trailhead where the Grub Ridge Trail and the Axe and Branch Trail come together. We took this Axe and Branch Trail it starts on a hill. So you go down this hill for a little while and then you come out and here, and this is where we cut just about 340 degrees north. Oh, wait, come back here. Cat just made some hardtack. Look at that. That's perfect. This is the stuff, guys. It's hard. It's how it's supposed to be.
Put in your coffee.
But what you do is you put some of that stuff. I don't want any right now. That stuff will stay good forever. I mean, really, you can just have a coffee can of it at home. It'll stay good forever. And what you do is you just take one of them and then put it in. You have to soak it in something before you can eat it. So I like to just soak it in coffee, usually when I'm out. And it's a nice little just kind of something to eat. You know what I mean? But anyways, so back to it. So we came here right about here. We cut about 340 degrees north and cut up this. Okay, so this is a trail I found marked on a different one. It's right at the top of this hill right here. And we went straight up the hill, pretty steep part. Made our campsite up there. So yeah, it was a pretty good spot for the weather. If it was colder, I think I'd probably camp lower on another step down the hill just to keep the wind off of us. But then, so we got turned around a little bit and I figured out why. Because we needed water the next day. So first thing, we got up, we made our coffee. And then we took this trail up to here, and as soon as this trail turned back southeast, we cut north and followed. You can't see it on here. There's a dried up little creek bed, and we took that up to this little jut out here, and then went up the side of there. Got water in our bottles, boiled it on the side, just right on the spot, so we had water. And then we started back. And then when we started back, we kind of swung over a little bit. And we hit this trail and I figured that we had just come down and swung, and then this trail was on our left, and if we just cut south, we'd be coming down this way. But I hit this trail, and I started walking south. This is the first time I've been out here, but I start walking south. This trail is not on the map. I had to look this up online. It's some unmarked trails. But then I hit a T, so that just really threw me. I was like, where is this? How am I hitting a T on here? I was like, there's no way I'm here. But yeah, so that kind of threw me off. We backtracked there. We tried to go back down the creek, ended up right back where we were because there's a Y and the creek bed's here. So anyways, little turned around there, but I'm glad that we went out there, and it's not like you're lost. I mean, it's not really hard to find, where you are once you hit a trail. But, it's just one of those things where I find a lot of navigation is just trusting yourself, because something doesn't look right and you begin to just lose confidence in yourself and think, you're like, where the hell am I? You know, do I know where I'm going? I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going. But then you hit an unmarked trail, and then it throws everything off, and you're like, oh, God. And then that's where you can think, oh, man, I don't know where I am. But the plan, you know, we were just like, let's just hike down here because we'll reach a trailhead eventually. Pretty sure we're going to reach this trailhead here, which was the tower, which we did. Well, first we came to this, where these two trails meet. You know, that was that. So I knew where we were from there. Then we went down to the tower. Then we hiked down here. And we were pretty tired by then. So instead of going all the way around here and then back up to our camp, which was here, we went here and just took the road, cut here, went back to camp, packed up, went back down that hill, went back up that hill. So, I mean, it was a pretty good little hike, but fun trip overall. Got a feel of the woods. And I picked up the, I got this from REI, this is about the only thing you'll probably ever see me buy from REI. The National Geographic Hoosier National thing. Now there's some things that I would buy, you know. Generally that gear is just pretty expensive, especially for what it is. But so anyways, yeah, we've got our you know, we can find where we are here, and here we go. So there's the Charles Deam Wilderness there. There's where we got water, and roundabout here is where we camped. So there we go. It's got the trails marked. It's a nice map. We're gonna probably hit up Morgan Monroe State Forest soon, or maybe we'll come back here next. I don't know. There's lots of camping. The dispersed camping is allowed anywhere in the Hoosier National Forest, as well as Morgan Monroe. Morgan Monroe, you just have to email the state troopers, or not state troopers, but the Forest Service, and let them know generally where you're going to be, you know, so that, you know, they can kind of keep track of things. But otherwise, good time, and we'll do it again.